So one of the many things I love about unity and our teachings is the emphasis on it being a faith tradition that is practical. Practical Christianity is often the term used to describe kind of what we are and what we teach, and the application of what we teach. For we must be able to take what we hear on Sunday and use it to help us in our personal lives on a day-to-day basis, or it's only words. So what we call truth teachings are meant to enhance our lives, to help us heal the wounds from the human experience, to help us express our most divine selves, and to remind us that we are as much, if not more, divine as we are humans. Tools that help us set aside our egos, our competitive nature, our human needs for recognition and attention. Tools to help us more closely live lives that are inspired from the love of our nature, from the love of our very nature. So that is one of the many reasons that my Sunday lessons and those of other Unity ministers include a call to action. I call it love work, a takeaway, a spiritual tool to try out, to practice, to inspire us to ignite our inner divinity, to apply into the lives that we lead every day. So today and the next 2 weeks will include spiritual tools. And our focus in this 3-week series is finding the sacred already present in our lives every day. It isn't nearly as much about adding to as to being present to what already is. And I was inspired to create this series primarily from a book by Frederick and Marianne Broussat titled Spiritual Literacy, Reading the Sacred in Everyday Life. And before I even opened the book, when I just saw the title, Reading the Sacred in Everyday Life, my heart said, yes, I absolutely must share this with my beloved community, with all of you. Now, we can all agree that life is an adventure, yes? An adventure that sometimes feels like a roller coaster, perhaps, with many ups and downs, with peaks and valleys, one with what might feel like numerous detours, although they probably weren't detours at all, but they might have felt that way at the time. And it's a journey that is unique to every one of us. Now, we may share parts of that journey, segments of our life experience with others, but the pieces woven together are ours alone. Your life adventure is yours alone. And your responses and reactions and internal processing can only be accomplished in the way that you accomplish it by you. So today, let's embrace our life's journey by giving it another title, a sacred adventure. I'm going to repeat that, and I want you to breathe it in, affirming it and claiming it as your own. A sacred adventure. My life has been and is today a sacred adventure. Yes, with all its frayed edges and difficulties and wounds and hurts, a very sacred adventure. And you might think, how could that be? I wasn't on a spiritual journey in the past. I was living my life without really thinking about God or having a prayer practice. I wasn't being introspective. I didn't keep a journal. I wasn't going to church. I was just being me. You might even be thinking about some of the ways you were living previously, some of the things that you were doing and having a hard time seeing them as sacred. Well, you have always been you, being you. You've always been both human and divine, way before you ever heard that specific description. You have always possessed at the very core of who you are, the divine essence of love and compassion. You, not being aware of your divinity, did not subtract nor detract from the truth of your nature. You have always been you, a unique and beautiful expression of the divine. Your life has always been a sacred adventure, whether it was intentional or not, whether you recognized it as such or not. And today you are more aware of it than ever before, yet it has always been so. Now, spiritual literacy, the main title of this book, is defined as the ability to recognize the presence of the divine, active and alive in the world around us and in our world, in our lives, to see our lives, our own experiences, perhaps as a text, a sacred text, for it truly is. Your life is a sacred, precious, and unique story. So even if your life did not always feel sacred, it has always been filled with the active presence of spirit, with signs and guidance and a constant loving presence. Your Christ consciousness is not something new. Your Christ consciousness has always been so. And spiritual literacy is simply the ability to discern the meaning in the happenings in our lives and to recognize Spirit's presence in the good and in what we interpret as not so good. Spirit is in the midst of it all, the pleasant, the joyful, the sad, the disappointments, the confusion, the feelings of loss. Wherever you are, whatever you are experiencing, there is God. Now, the authors of this book went on to say that spiritual literacy is practiced in all the world's sacred traditions. Medieval Catholic monks called it reading the book of the world. Muslims suggest that everything that happens outside and inside us is a letter to be read. Native Americans find their way through the wilderness by reading sign. From ancient times to today, spiritually literate people have been able to locate within their daily lives points of connection with the sacred. Points of connection with the sacred. But of course, those points of connection are happening daily. They're minute upon minute as the most divine within us expresses itself and where we recognize the divine world around us. And that's the challenge of everyday spirituality, to recognize the sacred everywhere without the starburst or the skies opening or trumpets or angels singing or mountain type experiences, although you might have those also. But simply today and today and today. We don't have to go off on a spiritual retreat or meditate for hours or to find the time and the finances to travel to the natural wonders of the world to find these points of connection. These points of connection with the sacred are all around us, everywhere, in our routine, in the most mundane and the most ordinary of happenings. Our goal, our intention is to recognize them. And our simple recognition feeds our soul. It soothes our very being. It calms our minds. It increases our appreciation for the sacred adventure called our life. It enriches our lives. And this acknowledgement raises our vibration to one of authentic appreciation. It deepens our awareness of our sacred connection with everything. So how do you start your day? What is your usual routine? Do you get up and brush your teeth and have a cup of coffee or tea? Do you make the bed Do you feed the cat, walk the dog? Do you water the plants, load the dishwasher? A moment's appreciation, just a moment for one of the blessings in your life, something that makes your life easier and sweeter and richer, can set the tone for the rest of the day. Our bodies are energy, they are vibration, and the higher we are vibrating, and appreciation is the highest of those vibrations, the easier our lives are in facing the challenges that are presented to us, for we all have challenges daily. So thank you, God, for a toothbrush and toothpaste and clean water to use to brush my teeth. Thank you for the ease of the coffee maker or for access to coffee or tea. Thank you for those who grow and process and transport those things for me to enjoy. Thank you for the comfortable bed and the bedding that I snuggle into at night, the pillow that I rest my head upon. I recognize that these are luxuries that not everyone experiences. My pet companion blesses my life, as do my plants. I see the divine revealed in them, expressing them through them as life. Thank you for nature and all living things. And I so appreciate the dishwasher or the sink and a drying space to dry my dishes. I'm blessed with these conveniences. My legs carry me to the next room. I'm able to see and hear. My arms and hands work. My heart and lungs are doing their mighty work. My body is truly a miracle. The sun is shining, or it's raining, or it's cloudy. It doesn't matter. The air is fresh and breathable. I might have the convenience of heat or air conditioning. Begin your day by recognizing at least one of these blessings. That's the first spiritual tool for today. Begin your day by recognizing at least one of these blessings, pausing for a moment, being grateful, already carrying this attitude of gratitude in your being, expressing as who you are. And having raised that vibration, you've also prepared yourself to notice more blessings throughout your day. You've not even left the house or the apartment yet, or perhaps interacted with anyone else. It isn't even lunchtime, and you've already allowed yourself to be aware of points of connection with the divine. That is spiritual literacy, reading the sacred in everyday life. An awareness of more than meets the eye in our day-to-day living. A simple moment of recognition and acknowledgement. John Shea, that's S-H-E-A, is a contemporary Catholic theologian. And when asked what everyday spirituality means, this is what he says. It is all of life seen from a certain perspective. It is waking, sleeping, dreaming, eating, drinking, working, loving, relaxing, recreating, walking, sitting, standing, and breathing. Spirit diffuses everything. And so the spiritual life is simply life, wherever and whatever, seen from the vantage point of spirit, seen from the vantage point of spirit. And Brother David Stintel-Ross, we've looked at his work in forgiveness. He says this: sometimes people get the mistaken notion that spirituality is a separate department of life, the penthouse of our existence. But rightly understood, it is a vital awareness that pervades all realms of our being. To be vital, awake, aware in all areas of our lives is the task that is never fully accomplished, but it remains the goal. It remains the goal. And from the Tao Te Ching, as translated by Stephen Mitchell, by Lao Tzu, see the world as yourself. Have faith in the way things are. Love the world as yourself. Then you can care for all things. then you can care for all things. Sit back and listen now to a conversation between a student, a disciple, who has gone to his master, his elder, to ask about how to see the sacred.
Where shall I look for enlightenment? The disciple asked.
Here, the elder said.
When will it happen?
It is happening right now.
Then why don't I experience it?
Because you do not look.
But what should I look for?
Nothing. Just look.
But what at?
At anything your eyes light upon.
But must I look in a special kind of way?
No, the ordinary way will do.
But don't I always look the ordinary way?
No, you don't.
But why ever not?
Because to look, you must be here, and you are mostly somewhere else.
Thank you, gentlemen. To look, you must be here. So let's be here, nowhere else, simply here. So right now, look at something before you or around you. It might be here in the sanctuary or at home, wherever you are, whatever your eyes light upon. Embrace the experience by inviting your busy mind to settle down and open your heart to what it sees. And as you gaze upon whatever you have found to pay attention to, breathe in deeply and then out, looking at it with soft eyes. What is your heart observing? Are the colors becoming more vivid or perhaps more muted and soft? Breathing in and out again. Are your senses being delighted by what you see, or perhaps you're simply observing? Is there a message for you in what you're gazing upon? A message to take with you from this space. Breathing in deeply and breathing out again. Now say in your mind a silent thank you to that which has caught your attention. What a simple exercise, yet meaningful. This is spiritual tool number 2 for today. You might, if you choose, set an alarm to go off at a certain time or certain times of the day to complete this exercise, just as we have today. That's right, more love work. To simply be wherever you are, observe something without overanalyzing. Quiet your mind, open your heart, and allow whatever you have observed to share something with you. A very simple appreciation and blessing. Your life is a sacred adventure. Thank you for allowing me to share part of your journey with you. And if you choose, if you feel free to text me or email me a description of what you experienced this week, something that surprised you, your simple appreciation and blessing, for we are in this together. And so it is. And so it is.